very skeptical, ambitious, rational, conservative. I would consider myself as a Chinese Canadian. My parents are from Hong Kong, and my dad came here when he was around 17 for school, and he eventually attended UVic. But shortly after graduation, he decided to move back to Hong Kong to work. There, he met my mom again, and then they married and actually decided to immigrate here. But they first went to Toronto for around a year, and then I guess my mom didn't really like the city that much, so then they decided to go to Vancouver. After, I think, spending 2 years, they decided to settle down and have a family. Well, my mom, I would consider her as traditional, whereas my dad is a lot more, I wouldn't say whitewashed, but Canadianized, because he was just here for at least 30 years of his life. Whereas my mom, despite being here for around 20 years, she just never really assimilated into, I guess, what someone would consider as Canadian, because she retains a lot of aspects of her Chinese culture when she's here. Like, she just simply doesn't enjoy any of the foods. She prefers to eat Chinese all the time. I would say most of my friends are Asian, ever since elementary, high school, and even in university, because I live in Richmond, and Richmond is just notorious for this high density of Asians living in all the different neighborhoods. So it's only natural for me to have mostly Asian friends growing up. Then I guess when I got to high school, it was a bit different because I went to a Catholic boys' school. So then there was a relatively good mix of people from all over Vancouver. And it was great because there wasn't any specific ethnic group that everyone would hang out with. Everyone was pretty well mixed. So then I guess at that point in my life, my group of friends kind of like diversified. But then when it went back to university, being at UBC, I would say that most, if not all, of my friends are Asian. I guess a lot of people don't realize like how much influence, especially in a Chinese family, that parents can have on the kids. That although like the child is born here, they may have a really traditional mentality because the parents continuously push them, especially if you're a single child like me. My parents' focus are like only on me 24/7. Because it's the West, it's automatically associated with, I guess, Caucasians. And whereas Asians are always associated with the East. So then once they see Asians in the West, it kind of seems like, well, these people are like, they don't belong here. So there's an automatic identity associated with Asians that like, oh, these guys are immigrants, these guys are fobs, these guys are like outsiders. I think fobs is simply just reserved for people who you know are not local. Technically, you could say a Caucasian person in Hong Kong is a fob, but I've never seen anyone say that. Most people would just call them as a foreigner or something, or Guaylo. Canada is my true home, and I'm most comfortable being here. Multiculturalism is just an aspect of life here.